As far as during the hiring process, one of the challenges that I often hear is holding hiring managers and the other stakeholders accountable for doing what they need to do when they need to do it, such as providing feedback, timely feedback right after an interview. What have you found to work really well to hold everybody accountable to the standard that you want to maintain?
Yeah, I think that's definitely an ongoing challenge. And I will admit that I'm even guilty of it at times. And part of it is building that into the schedule. I think post COVID, especially, you're meeting after meeting after meeting. You're usually finishing an interview, hanging up, and then hopping on the next call. So it is a challenge, and we're certainly not perfect at it. One of the things that we did implement, though, was we're not putting out any offers until all the feedback for every candidate for that rec has been completed. So it does put the pressure on a hiring manager to own that as well and to reinforce it with their team that, hey, I want to move on this candidate and make the offer, and hey, you're standing in my way. So it kind of makes more people care about it and makes it real. It did take some time to have our recruiters really stick to it because they're anxious to get the hire closed. So that helps just with the urgency of it. I think even in the interview training, just explaining, you have the form pulled up. We use Lever as a tool. And so you have Lever pulled up and we have an outline of questions that need to be answered. And feel free to be typing during the interview. It is a balance. I think for me specifically, as I'm vetting out culture, I don't like to be typing. I like to be extremely present and watching the candidate and listening to the candidate. And I'm not always great at that multitasking. So for me, I try not to do that. But when you're doing technical interviews, it might be more important that you're jotting down what you're learning in the moment. So just talking through that and trying to share different people's, tips and tricks that work for them. But I think ultimately that deadline of like, hey, we're not moving forward with anyone has probably created the best urgency. And then the talent acquisition team just has to follow up sometimes.